Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading an Arlecchino Listener by me. So let's get into it. Tonight, you considered yourself a performer, and the House of the Hearth would be your stage. You had planned this for a while now. After all, you'd be a fool to think that you would get away with anything in the house without meticulous planning. And so you moved quietly, silently, everything mapped out to perfection. And your target, with a small unassuming box, rumored to contain not gold or treasures, but important documents that you've had your eyes on for a while now. It was something personal, a grudge of your own, against the merchant who had made it their mission to sabotage you at every given turn. So it was only natural that you would try to take revenge. You knelt, pulling out your lock-picking tools, the delicate metallic instruments glinting faintly in the silver of moonlight that was filtering through the window. Your fingers were precise with their movements, listening for the subtle clicks that signaled success. 1, 2, and there it came, unlocked. A breath you didn't realize you were holding escaped your lips. Victory was within reach. And so, you slowly lifted the lid, peering into the shadowed interior, and it was empty. A chill shot through your veins. Empty? Your intel was flawless. This was impossible. This was a trap. Before you could react, before the word trap fully registered in your mind, a voice, smooth and polished, cut through the silence. Disappointed, are we? The blood drained from your face. You froze, every muscle in your body locking up. That voice, it was unmistakable. Arlecchino, the knave herself. Slowly, agonizingly slowly, you turned, your hands still hovering over the empty box, and she stood there, as if she had simply emerged from the shadows, waiting for you all along. Her eyes, unsettling, were fixated on you, unblinking and analytical. There was no anger in them, no immediate threat that you could perceive, only an intense, unnerving curiosity. I must admit, I rather enjoyed watching you work, she continued, her voice maintaining that unsettling calm. Such focus, such dexterity. You swallowed, your throat suddenly dry as dust. You were trying to formulate anything, an escape plan, an excuse, anything, but there was no escape. Not from Arlecchino. The House of the Hearth was her domain, and you were caught in it. What are you doing here? You managed, the question sounding ridiculously stupid, even to your own ears, and a faint, almost imperceptible curve touched her lips, something resembling a smile. I love your relief. Perhaps the more pertinent question is, what are you doing here? You had nothing, no prepared lies, and no grand deception. Your usual cunning seemed to have evaporated under the unnerving intensity of her gaze. Not to mention, this was not one of the calculated outcomes. I was just passing through. I think I made a mistake. You mumbled. A pathetic attempt that fooled no one. It wasn't even coherent at best. But it was amusing to her. Passing through? My apologies. I must have mistaken this for a private residence, then. She took a step closer, and you instinctively flinched, pressing yourself further back against the wall. The movement seemed to pique her interest, and she tilted her head, those unsettling eyes studying you, as if you were a particularly intriguing specimen under a microscope. A thief, and a rather skilled one, from the looks of it. Few have reached my outer defenses, let alone reached this far. She owns. It was unexpected, this compliment, that disarmed you in its own way. And he stared at her, utterly bewildered and confused. Was she impressed? What was your target? She asked, her voice dropping slightly, becoming more inquisitive. You hesitated. There was no point in lying now. I wanted documents concerning one of your merchant rivals. Ah, so not for personal gain, I assume? A calculated strike. Fascinating. Tell me, who hired you? No one. It was personal. They wronged me, and I've given up playing fair. She seemed to consider this. Her head tilted once more. A personal vendetta, executed with such precision. That's even more intriguing. He breached my wards, circumvented my patrols, bypassed my security, and even deduced the location of this strongbox that I placed there specifically to test the capabilities of intruders. The real documents are not kept in a strongbox, she said, smiling a little bit. Drop your tools. You hesitated for a fraction of a second, then immediately did as she commanded. Now stand. You pushed yourself to your feet, and you stood before her, a captured thief, completely at her mercy. Arlecchino circled you slowly, her movements deliberate. Tell me your name. And so you told her, your voice still a little bit shaky. And why did you choose my house as your target? Did you truly believe you could succeed against me? I was arrogant. I heard stories of your security, and I wanted to test myself. There were easier methods to get to what I wanted, and yet I chose this one, out of my own foolishness. She smiled again. Arrogance can be a fatal flaw, but in your case, it can lead to an entertaining evening. She then took your hand in hers, doing something unexpected. These hands are wasted on petty vengeance. Imagine what they could accomplish, applied to a grander purpose. Your breath hitched, and you gasped slightly. Are you saying you want us to cooperate? Only if you won't. The other option, it is much less favorable, she says, and you already know what she means. And so you hold out your hand. It will be a pleasure doing business with you, Lord Arlecchino. The pleasure is mine. And little did you know, it wouldn't stop there. This was only just the beginning.